Hi, I'm a Blisy.
Hey everyone, today I'm going to teach you how to RNG abuse eggs in Pokemon Sun and Moon. This is a bit different from all other RNG in this game, and I will explain why before I explain the methodology and how this whole thing works. So in Sun and Moon there is a thing called an egg seed, and what that is what determines the stats and nature of your Pokemon and all that kind of stuff, and that is only affected by whether you reject an egg from the daycare or take it. So the goal of this RNG is to find the egg seed and then learn how to properly keep track of it and use it for our advantage. Okay? So the beginning method of this, which is figuring out what your egg seed is a very lengthy process. It involves hatching 127 Magikarp eggs. If you have access to PK Hex, you can actually just open it up, look at daycare, and there's a little thingy in it. There's a number chain you could get down and copy as your egg seed. But my videos are always meant to show completely hackless methods of RNG abuse. So we're going to do this the completely legit way. So what you're going to need are 2 Magikarp of different natures and different genders, and they both need to be holding an Everstone. Now remember which nature is which. So my female is Quirky, my male is Rash. I'm going to write that down in Notepad here. So I like it like this, male Rash. Okay, so that's written down in my Notepad. And remember, they both need to be holding Everstones, both need to be different genders, both need to have different natures. You're also going to need a Pokemon with Flame Body. That's my Talonflame here, my good boy. And then this is also pretty helpful, having the Oval Charm, just because it increases the amount of eggs found at Nurture Rate, and you're going to be hatching quite a bit of eggs. Out of game, you're going to need, Notepad just to write stuff down. You're also going to need, where is it? The Sun and Moon RNG tool. When you download it, it will be in Japanese. It's not. Okay, there you go. So if you don't know how to read Japanese, this is the options button. This is the language button. You can switch to English here. There you go. That's just how to do that in English. So I'm gonna hide that. You're not gonna need that right away, but you will need it eventually. All right. With all that out of the way, what you're gonna want to do is talk to this lady and leave both of the Magikarps with the Everstones. Does not matter which order you deposit them in. Yes, please. Then you're going to deposit this Magikarp. So what you want to do at this point is run around until the lady has an egg. This is the best spot to do it. I assume if you've done any breeding in Sun and Moon at all, you know about this little trick. Alright, once she has an egg, that's very quick. You're going to save the game in front of her. Then you're going to accept the egg. Now, unfortunately, you don't keep any of these eggs, so if you get a shiny during this, you're probably going to have to either reset over the shiny or you're going to have to restart the whole process. So shiny Magikarp isn't worth it in my opinion, though, because the red Gyarados is super common. Anyway, so once you have the egg from her, just keep going until the egg's hatched. And the thing you're going to be taking note of is the hatched egg's gender. Not gender, I'm sorry, it's a lie. The nature. The nature of the hatched egg has to line up with the gender of one of the parents. So this little hatchling here, we're going to take a look at what its nature is. And that's why it's important to write down the natures of the parents, just because you want to be positive what you're writing is the correct results here. So you go here, check out your little babby, and Rash. So Rash is male. So what you're going to do at this point is, if it is you're going to continually do this basically, and keep following the guide because I'll explain exactly how you can do it. But you're going to take note of the nature. It's Rash, so that follows the male nature. You're going to type 0. If it was the female's nature, which would be Quirky in my case, you type 1 instead of 0. But once this is done, reset the game. So I'm going to do a little soft reset. I'll do this with you 2 times probably, and then from there I will do this in either sped up sequence or off screen. So start your game up, then reject the egg from this lady. Then run around until she got another egg. And so what we're doing at this point is repeating the same process as we did initially. So she's going to have the egg. We save in front of her. Game saves. You accept the egg. You hatch it. And then after you hatch this egg, you check its nature, see what gender of the parent it aligns up with. Then you type a 1 or a 0 and you soft reset the game, and you reject it and you do it all over again. And you do this process 127 times. Oops, I forgot. We're hatching the egg. We're not checking here. All right. Okay. So now just check its nature. It is rash again. So we hit 0 again. Then you soft reset, and you do it all over again. The same exact thing. Reject the egg, run around until she has an egg, save the game, take the egg, hatch it, check nature, all that jazz. So I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do that on like sped up cam. So I will see you guys then. Okay, so once you've got your incredibly long sequence of 1s and 0s done, and you've had 127 Magikarps hatched, what you're going to want to do is reset the game. So you're back at your last Magikarp. She should be holding the 127th Magikarp right now. Then you're going to want to go to this website. I will link it in the description. Let me open it up on video for you. And what you're going to do is you're just going to click this button and it will generate a seed for you. All right. So then you're going to take that seed, and I'm going to close this off for now. And you're going to go into Sun and Moon RNG Tool. Now, in the Sun and Moon RNG Tool, you need to be in the Hatching tab. So you start in the Stationary tab, got to go to the Hatching RNG tab. And ignore all this stuff over here. The only thing necessary is if your Magikarps were they were Masuda methoded. I probably should mention you shouldn't be doing it Masuda methoded. I don't know why you'd have, but you could just go catch 2 Magikarps. But yeah, so you're gonna change this value to this value right here to 124, and this value to 123. Then you're gonna paste the seed you got from that website. You notice here, I'll open it again. If you'll notice, it was in 4 bits. You're going to take the first bit and you're going to put it into status 3. The second bit is going to go into status 2. It's going to go like that until you got all of them. Now this is not your egg seed necessarily. This is sort of where you started the Magikarp journey, in essence. Anyway, okay, so once you've done this, all of this, you're going to hit search. And you should get 2 things. Now, this is where you are right now. And what you want to do to test to make sure you're on the proper seed is reject this egg, reject the egg you currently have. So I'm going to close I'm going to close the RNG tool really quick. So you're going to take the egg, you're on 123. Now rejecting an egg advances it by 1 frame. So just reject it. So now theoretically you're on frame 124 right now. Boop. So theoretically you're on here. So what you do is you go in here and you remove the remove both your Magikarps and take the Everstones away from both of them, and then you just want to put them back in. Whoa. I guess my party's full. 1 second. So you just want to withdraw your Magikarps and then deposit them back without the Everstones on them. Now, taking Pokemon out does not affect the egg seed. Nothing affects the egg seed except taking eggs and rejecting eggs. So, take them both. So you're going to do all of this without saving, so go into your Pokemon. Take the Everstone away. Oops, you don't have any items, Sonny. Alright, there we go. And now you just gotta put them back. Put them back in and run around until there's an egg. And then you're gonna hatch that egg. And the egg hatch should line up properly with what's in the reporter. So you'll see that in 1 second. So obviously you didn't type the stat. So if you take a look at the Sun and Moon RNG tool, you didn't alter the stats here, so these won't line up. But the nature, ability, and gender should all line up properly. So, and I will do this live here because the hatching is so quick, like getting an egg from her and hatching it. Now remember, don't save any of this. You don't want to save any of this at all. So you want to take this egg from her and you just want to hatch it really quick. Alright, and you do it again. And just keep going until your egg hatches. And if everything went well, the egg should be everything that lined up with frame 124, except the stats. The stats will not, actually the stats that aren't the stats, so if you take a look here, my egg's hatching right now, but if you take a look here, oh, where is it? So if you take a look at the bottom parts here, the stats that aren't inherited from the parents will actually line up properly. Is there a way to show parents or no? I don't think so. But this 10 and 13 aren't listed as either of the parents. So it actually probably will line up properly. Like, I bet it's HP and attack or 10 and 13, or 8, yeah, 10 and 13 respectively. Alright, so let's check our Pokemon here. So, I'm going to switch over to, you see he's lax, and it should be a male. So I'm going to show you that here. So, it's male, lax, and the Pokeball comes from the female. I don't know what, I didn't pay attention to that, to be honest with you. And that means it's successful, but we could probably check his, you could check his stats if you want to, we don't have to. So what you do at this point is you soft reset, okay? So that means if everything lined up properly, you're on frame 124, or you were on frame 123 and you were on 124 after rejecting the egg, so everything went well. If that wasn't the case, you have to redo everything, all the Magikarps again, and that super sucks. So what you do after reloading the game is you have the information. So first of all, you can't do anything with this Magikarp egg. This Magikarp is going to be useless anyway, so just reject it. That means you're on a frame 124. Now before another egg happens, what you want to do is take the Pokemon out of the daycare. And I just realized my party is full again, so I'm gonna fix that really quick. Alright, so you rejected the egg, and now you gotta take your Magikarps back before they produce a new egg. So I'm gonna take them back. And now this is the time where you can finally start to test your Pokemon. Like you could test you could try an RNG abuse breed. Oh, whoops! I want to take both of them back. So I will show you how to do that really quick in RNG Reporter. And I think I might take like after I show you how to set everything up, I'm going to take a quick pause to do a big setup in mind. So before I go set up my parents and all that jazz, what I'm going to do is in the Sun and Moon RNG tool, so at this point you've confirmed that you're on frame 124 after rejecting the egg. You've soft resetted the game, you've rejected the egg, you've taken the magic carps out. That means you're on this frame. Right now you're on this frame. So what you do, is you right click and you hit copy seed to this tab, and then these numbers up here should change. Then you right click again and you hit copy seed to other tab. I'll get on that in a minute. Then you change this range back to 0 to you can leave it at like 100 or whatever, it doesn't matter. Then you go into options and you hit save config. That's very, very important. Okay, and I'm gonna go set up some breeding parents really quick while I explain some stuff. So if you want a shiny, you need to know your TSV. You can know this without hacking. I will probably never ever cover how to do this without hacking, to be honest with you. It's a very long process. So I don't think it's worth it personally. I'm gonna see if I can find my Japanese Ditto really quick. Don't know where he's at. Where are you, buddy? I have one somewhere. Oh, here he is. Okay. So do that, and we will breed a... What do we breed? I'll use another like finished Pokemon as an example. I don't want to take too much time on this whole thing. Okay. So don't waste time. We'll use... There's so many Garchomps, I don't need another one. Oh, I know. Oh, I know what I'll use. Alright, I got it. Huh. Alright, where are you at? Alright, so I have this FRLG here, obviously, my favorite Pokemon. Alright. And I'm going to give him the items. So, what you need to do is, the normal breeding stuff. I presume if you're trying to RNG breed, you need to know how to normal breed, but I'm going to give the Destiny Knot to the FRLG, and I'm going to give an Everstone to my my Ditto because it's Jolly, and I want a Jolly FRLG. So let me actually leave this out. So we should there you go. So now, remember, you're on frame 124 right now, or you set everything up so it doesn't, that kind of information doesn't apply again. So first things first, you need to go on the PC. You need to check your parents' stats. So I'm going to show you my FRLG stats are here, and my Ditto stats are here. So what you do in RNG Reporter is you're going to go open it up, and you're going to go to type in your parents' stats. Now, my FRLG is a woman, so FRLG stats are going to be here. I don't know its special attack, so I'm just going to mark it as a 0. And it's got its hidden ability. Now, and the gender ratio is 7:1 because FRLG is a starter. Then the other Ditto is like this, and I'm going to check off Ditto, and the ability doesn't matter because the male's a Ditto. The item I'm going to pick, I gave Ditto the Everstone, and I gave FRLG the Destiny Knot, and it will automatically check different species once you check Ditto off. But if you don't check, if you're doing different species, check off that if it's not a Ditto. Then you're going to type in what stats you want under the filter, so I want this. And then you're going to check off the nature you want. I want Jolly, but it'll do that because it knows it's Everstone, so it'll doesn't necessarily matter. I want hidden ability. Don't care about my gender. Ball type or HP type I don't care about. Ball type I want the female. Then for I'm doing Masuda method. You have to check that off if you're doing it. It will be wrong. And if you, even though you can't Shiny Charm actually doesn't make the for eggs in particular, it doesn't matter. But if you have the Shiny Charm, you have to check it off as well. That's very important. And then I'm going to do set the egg range to 0 to 1,000, and I'm going to hit Shiny only, and then I'm going to hit search. And it's probably not going to come up with anything. Do it again. Probably not going to come up with anything. Do it again. So take a little while to search now. And I'll do one more, see if it can't get it. So this shiny does not exist within any realm of possibility. So from here you can start doing any nature, anything like that at all, any ball at all. Again, I'm not getting... Oh, hello. What are you guys? The weird thing is, I don't know why that would have changed anything. But see, that's weird because the thing is, I clicked female parent and it came up with nothing. But the thing is, it will always give it'll always give the lore ball. That's strange. Anyway, this is the lowest frame I could get, but the one I want with the hidden abilities here. So if I do copy, right click the number and you click copy, you go to egg list and you paste that here, target frame. So obviously your range has to be 0 within the, I'll do 10,000. And you search, it'll take a little bit. So I'd have to accept 309 eggs and reject 12 eggs. That is not possible. Like, I'm not going to do that. It's going to take forever. So what I will do is I'm going to click disable these filters here, and I'm going to do shiny only still, and I'm going to hit search. See where my closest shiny to me is. This will take a while. It's a lot of results. I might even crash the reporter. In the meantime, I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to go deposit them in the daycare. Yeah, it's calculating. It's taking a little bit. In fact, it might even be better if I just close the program. It's going to crash, I think. Yeah, let me reopen it really quick. So once you deposit them, it's not a big deal. Let me reopen my reporter really quick. Sorry about that, guys. So you're a Ditto. You have an Everstone. You have a Destiny Knot. You have a hidden ability. You're not a Ditto, and your special tag is 0. Gender ratio is 7 to 1. You have to make sure to get the gender ratio right. Again, it won't work. I want the ball to be the... Actually, I'll leave the... I want it to be the female parents, but it probably won't matter because it's only going to go to the female. So actually, I'm going to uncheck that. Nature will be Masuda method, shiny. I don't have shiny charm, and I want shiny only. So I'm going to hit generate. I got nothing. Alright, so here we go. Let's take a look. What I got. So as you can see, I got some pretty good results. These are completely usable for alligators. They're just, they're not completely perfect. So the lowest one I could get is this frame. I hit copy. And I will paste that here. And whoopsie daisy. I copied the wrong thing. I meant to copy just the number. Copy. Paste that here. And we'll make this like 700. So accept 21 eggs and reject 3 eggs, and I get a shiny. I honestly don't want to do that. That's a lot of eggs. But that's how you would get the shiny. I could probably prove it to you. And you know what? I think I will, actually. It's 21 eggs. It's not too bad. Alright. I'm going to do this probably on sped up cam so you guys can see me doing the whole thing. So I will see you when it's hatched. Okay, so I have rejected 21 eggs and accepted, or the other way around. I have rejected, as you can see, the Sun and Moon tool. Where is it at? I have rejected 21, or accepted 21 and rejected 3. So at this point, my party is still full of Totodiles, so I gotta do that. So here's what you're gonna do. Oh shit, there's like eggs probably flooding my PC. Alright, and drop you off, my little dude. So I'm gonna run around until this one's got an egg for me. Okay, she has an egg. So one thing to do before she accepts the eggs is if you go into the Sun and Moon tool, and you go into the main page again. I'm gonna close calculator now. You go to the main page. What we're gonna need to do is you see it says frames advanced by receiving is 31. So what you do here is you change your range to this one, so it's 689 because that's where we're at, and just 1000 is fine actually. And then you're gonna disable like uncheck shiny only, keep Masuda method checked. You can keep all that checked. You'd want to click disable filters in case you actually did fill out any of them, and you hit search. So we will now be moving 31 frames from here, so you just got to count that. 1, 2, 3, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So this is the frame we end up on. 720, and you could do that just to double check. I'm going to calculator it. 720 minus 689. 31. There you go. So this is 31 frames later. So what we do here is we go over to this part, we right click, we hit copy seed to this tab, and you hit copy seed to the other tab. And this is how you keep track of it. Every time you do any breeding, it's going to have to be from RNG breeding, and you're going to have to, every time you do it, you go here to the frame you ended up on, 689, and you hit copy the seed. Like you go 30, you check how many frames you advance. I advanced to 720, and you do that. You have to do that every single time. You have to keep track of it every time, or else you'll have to redo the Magikarp thing, which you don't want to do because it takes forever. And by copying it to these things, so now you know this is your new starting seed, and you go to options and you hit save config. I'll put that on the screen. So once you copied it to here, so that you, like I said, you right click this, you copy seed to this tab, copy seed to other tab, you go options, save config. That's what you do. And so you accept this egg from this lady. Now what you're going to want to do after accepting the egg from her is you don't want to have to advance the seed again. So you go in here and just take your Pokemon out. So I'm gonna put one of these Totodile rejects in here. And it's just going to be best to take your Feraligatr out of here. So take back. Take my Feraligatr. Take his mammy. So this way an egg won't be generated and you won't move your egg seed by accident. That's just simply the best way to do it. So, no, I don't want the other one back. It's fine. You can leave one in because, you know, leaving one in won't change it. So now I'm just going to go hatch my egg. It'll be fun. I'll do it on camera because this won't take very long, I don't think. Yeah, and one thing to note about the RNG Reporter is the range. I'll show this on this range. It'll set, so like if I close this and I open it, it'll set the range back. This range right here, it'll set that back to 0 and 100. And don't worry about that. It's because it now considers your current seed, which was frame 689 of the old seed. It now considers your current seed frame 0. And so it just counts up from your current frame as the 0 frame to whatever new frame you're going at. Now, so for shinies it takes a while, but for breeding it doesn't take very long. So between using RNG or chaining to get good parents and good dittos, this actually speeds up breeding very quickly, and it makes it so you're guaranteed to get the parents you want. And it's just really nice to do that. So even then, if you have 2 parents with 4 perfect stats, you might have to do a little bit of breeding. You might have to get 2 or 3 eggs out of you, but it's still much faster and much more guaranteed than what it was previously. Hopefully this egg hatches soon. I'm gonna do this all on camera. Here it goes. So this should be a shiny Totodile, and it should have perfect everything except defense, which will be 30. And it won't have its hit. Yep, as you can see, that's clearly shiny. This one won't have its hidden ability, I don't think. I think I went 689, just didn't even care. So I'm not going to nickname him. And it should be in the lore ball just because, you know, the only parent capable of passing down the ball was the mother parent. So as you can see here, ooh, which one was it? I think it was the one under this. Alright, as you can see, it's shiny. It's Jolly Nature, like it should have been. There you go, really easy shinies, and I'll go show you in the computer what the stats are. Let's get in here. And I think it's in a lore ball, isn't it? Yeah, you are in a lore ball. So we'll check here, stats. Oops, wrong button. I do this every friggin' time. Judge. So yeah, defense is 30, everything else is perfect. Yeah, hope this was helpful, guys. Thank you for watching. If this was a good tutorial, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video.